Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. I'm gonna try to do a little video of my favorite Flint artifacts. The last video I did was on my quartz ones, so I figured I'd do one of my Flint ones as well. If my phone will allow me to, it's been messing up. I'll see if I'm able to upload it though. But as I mentioned in my last video, the majority of artifacts I found have been here in Cherokee County, North Georgia, where I'm from. So majority of these came from here. Some didn't, but I'll point that out as I get to them. But and I also want to acknowledge too, as I did in my last video, a childhood friend of ours, Steve Lancaster. He's the one that got us into artifact collecting. He's no longer with us. He went missing over a decade ago. We believe he was murdered. And I hope his family finds justice one day. We love you, miss you, Steve. Thank you for getting me and my brothers and all of us into this amazing hobby. Okay, the first Flint arrowhead I've ever found is right here. I believe it's a broke Dalton. And their ears is obviously missing one ear, but I was thrilled to find that. That's a heck of a first Flint arrowhead to find right there. You know, it's an amazing piece, actually. I found it in one of my favorite holes, cove in the lake. My buddy was on one side of it. We was looking around the base of this tree. The roots were pushing flint chippings and stuff up, and bam. I was 19 when I found this. Right after, not long after I found my first quartz one. And by the way, as I mentioned in the last video, it's mostly quartz what we find around here. The nearest Flint source we have here is probably 50 miles away around Kingston, Cartersville, Georgia, that area, a little above Cartersville. But the majority of the flint we find is mostly, black flint. We don't find the pretty material. I got some pretty heads, but I'm proud of all of them. But the material y'all find in other places, Missouri, Mississippi, is just amazing to me. But we got a few good ones. Here's my Clovis, my little Clovis. It's a crude little guy, but that's a Clovis. You see where it's fluted? This might have been a larger point at one time, and they reworked it after it may have been broke or whatever. But I didn't know what I found when I found this. This is when I was very young. I thought it was just some crude head. Put it in my pocket and threw it in a pile of rocks when I got home. But until years later, I realized I had a Clovis. So that was pretty cool. It's good fun. I'm proud of that one. This is probably my nicest projectile right here. Flint, quartz, whatever. This is the nicest one in my collection probably. This is the one I found last year. Some of y'all might have seen the video of it. I found it in a creek about 4 miles away from me, and it's very rare for me to find any artifacts in the creek. The majority of these came from the lake bed, the riverbanks. We got two main tributaries to Lake Allatoona, so the majority of these came from. That is the Etowah River and Little River. But I haven't been mobile in a very long time, so I'll get out and walk from the house, and hit all the creeks around. And I found the creek I found this in is actually a tributary. It's one of the best bass ponds I ever fished. I caught a 12-pound bass in there about 30 years ago. I caught a 12-pound bass in there, so it was pretty cool to find it where I found it, and I was just thrilled to find that. It's kind of crude on one side, definitely not a G10, but in my eyes, I may never find a projectile this pretty again, so I'm very proud of that, and I believe it's a Kirk's corner notch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's a Kirk's. I had a knack for finding dovetails at one time. I had, 30 or 40 dovetails at one time, but most of them's gone. I had Christmas tree beveled ones, just a beautiful variety of dovetails, but this might be the nicest one I got left right here. Some beautiful material. Absolutely beautiful material. It's very, very translucent. I seen Coyote find a similar one in one of his videos. Not exactly like it, but similar. And the stuff he finds out west is just, I think, is it Mojave Desert? I don't know. Tell me, Coyote. But you find some amazing artifacts. I'm impressed by the artifacts you find. Some of my more unusual ones. This little blunt. Look at this little blunt. That's a pretty neat little head. My brother and I call these stunners. Before he heard anybody else call them blunts, way before he got on YouTube or watch anybody else find out artifacts. we would refer to them as stunners. We figured if they didn't kill something, they would at least stun them, knock them out for a minute. That's why we refer to them as stunners. That's a nice little point. Here's another little unusual one here. I don't know this point type. I'm still not good with point types. If anybody's seeing this is what point type this is, feel free to point it out to me because I don't know. But that is a cool little artifact right there. Very proud of that one. I've got some multicolored heads. That's a beauty right there. It's a beauty. Some pretty material as well. It's like a pinto horse. It's unusual for me to find this type of material around here. I found this one and I believe this one the same day, laying right next to each other in a fishing hole of mine, someplace I've never found arrowheads before. And people ask me often, where do you find arrowheads? Anywhere there's rocks. My brother found one at the corner of a Wendy's parking lot one time. You know, any rocky area, there's those native habitat ones, you're likely to find an artifact. You just gotta look. Sometimes you gotta put in some light work to find some. But it's my little flint hatchet I found. I found this on a logging trail. Me and my buddy started so check out these logging trails around Emerson, Georgia. And this mossy patch caught my eye. And I looked up on this embankment, and it's the first thing I seen. I was like, wow, look at that. Besides projectiles, I don't normally find flint tools or anything like that, so that was super cool to find. If you look at the scraper I found a few weeks ago, when I found my first arrowhead of the new year, how similar they look. That's pretty cool. It's a neat little find. There's another cool little scraper I found many years ago on Garland Mountain, Georgia. It's the only time I've ever been on Garland Mountain. It's the only artifact I've ever found on Garland Mountain. Me and my brother rode down the gravel road, and we stopped at the end of the road. I got out, walked about 10 yards, and that was laying there. Never been back to Garland Mountain. That's a pretty little scraper. I really like that one. I do have a few more dovetails left. Here's one with a broke tip. Pretty multicolored one. But I swear I had like 20 or 30 dovetails at one time, and a lot of them been stolen. I gave a couple away. My nicest one I sent to a girl. She was a pen pal of mine. It was a G10 smoker. It was like camouflage looking, kind of sort of look like this one. But she was a pen pal of mine. I made her a necklace and I sent it to her. I never heard from her again. I wonder if she still has it. I mentioned that in one of my recent videos. But I don't know where to go from here. This white flint one I found. Okay. The nicest flint head I had in my collection that I always referred to as my nicest, my favorite, is no longer in my collection. I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared from my collection. It was a similar material to this, but it was an absolute smoker. It had serrated edges, and I never find flint ones with serrated edges like that. It was just a beauty. It was an absolute beauty. And I found this the same day, this white flint one. This may be the only white flint I have. If it is flint, correct me if I'm wrong, it could be some type of chert, I don't know, but I'm thinking white flint. That's a beauty too. And I found it on the same shoreline. I found my nicest one, besides that Kirk, and I don't know what happened to it. It's gone. But that was a good day as well. I watched the lake a few miles that day. If I lived within 6 miles of the lake, I'm walking to the lake and looking for arrowheads, but unfortunately, I'm like, 16 miles away right now, so I'm not able to, but I hit the creeks and stuff when I can. This is one I found. I didn't get this in video when I found it, but I found it in the same creek. I found this Kirk's just a few weeks before. I don't know the point type of that. Is that a table rock? I don't know. I really don't know. I just watched one of Ben Allen's videos, and he found I think he called it a broken table rock. It looks similar to this. I didn't know if this was a turkey tail, these two. I've got hundreds of brokes. I just pulled these two out. Like I said, I just watched one of his videos, and I got a couple of the same bases. I don't know if they're turkey tails or table rocks. I don't know. This one right here, I don't know if this is even flint or smoky quartz. Could be smoky quartz, I don't know. But something I didn't do in my last video, my quartz ones, is give y'all a close-up of my kind of skin. I'm sorry about the light as well. The ones on the bottom, the two bottom rows, are my brother's. So I'm going to let y'all get a close-up of those. These are my brothers. Lucky Joker. He has found some beauties. Look at that one. Is that a Kirk? I don't know. This is one of my favorite heads of his. That is a beauty, though. He pulled that out of a creek bank at a campground, and that's an absolute smoker. This is definitely his nicest drill. As I mentioned in my last videos, I hardly ever find any drills. I've got a couple crude ones, but I've never found anything like this. That's just an absolute beauty right there. Look at the material. Golly. That is a beauty. I'm in love with that piece. But he wants me to make him a necklace out of this one. I think it's got some it's flint, definitely, but I think it might have some. If I had a better camera, you could see it. Almost looks like it has some amethyst in it. I don't know, but he wants me to make a necklace out of this one. I used to make necklaces out of arrowheads all the time. Something I ain't did in a while. But I think that's a lost lake, if I'm not mistaken. And he's got another lost lake right here. Both beautiful points. He's got some beautiful dovetails as well. Look at this one. Sorry, bird tips. Look at that one. Oh, my camera. That is a beauty right there. Absolute beauty. I used to have a couple hundred bird tips at one time, but over the years I've lost them. But here's some of mine. We get in areas sometimes, like that place I uploaded a video the other day called Bird Tip Heaven. If we would have stayed in that one little spot, search it more thoroughly, we could have come out with a dozen bird tips probably, but we was looking for that smoker laying on top of the ground, so definitely gonna go back on my sifter one day though and check it out. Some more brokes and stuff I got up there. Pottery. It's a beautiful piece of pottery. One of my prettiest pieces. I made a video of that. I don't know what that is. Maybe somebody could tell me if you hadn't seen another video I made. I don't know if that's a discoidal or what. I don't know. I think they're normally made out of hard stone, but I always called it a discoidal. It's like pottery or sandstone. It's the only piece of obsidian I've ever found in Georgia. I've never found a projectile made of obsidian. But I was watching somebody's video the other day that was finding obsidian in arrowheads. And I googled volcanic activity in Georgia, and apparently we did have volcanic activity in Georgia at one time. I was wondering where the heck a piece of obsidian would come from, But, one of my brother's most unique artifacts right there. That is a cool piece. We're not exactly sure what it is. I thought it might be some kind of a braiding stone. This is probably my most unique artifact. It's in a braiding stone I found in the river many years ago when I was striper fishing. I found it in a gravel bar. I had no idea what it was when I found it. I thought it was some kind of petrified screwdriver handle, and I found it in one of my brother's books. And indeed in braiding stone. I've never seen another one in person like it. I did find it in his book though. So that's how I knew what it was. It's my game ball. One of my game balls. I got a couple. Here's some some different stones we're finding in Stamp Creek, North Georgia, where it connects to Pine Log WMA. And my buddy Steve, the one I mentioned at the beginning of the video, told me that this was fuel. They use these for fuels for the furnace up there. I don't know what type of furnaces they had, but we find chunks of these blue-looking stones. Look how pretty that is. That is pretty, ain't it? But there's piles of this stuff up there in Stamp Creek, and so he told me it was used for fuel for the furnaces. So I don't know. These aren't flint. This is I don't know what type of material this is, but like I said, the majority of what we find is either quartz or flint. So I'm not good with I'm not much of a rock hound. Not good with rock types, but I think this is chert. I found this in a clear cut Henderson Mountain. I found this, I believe it's some type of chert. Found it where I found my first flint arrowhead. Here's a little dovetail. My brother's got, I believe it's some kind of chert, but mostly, wow, look at this material. That is beautiful right there. You guys in Missouri find that type of material all the time, but it's very unusual for us down here to find that type of material. Another little unusual point. I don't know what you call this one either. Sorry about the light again. That's a cool little point though. Yeah, here's the little 10-second arrowhead I found the other day. I found that bone also, and I put 10-second arrowhead and Neanderthal bone in the title. I guess people really think I found a Neanderthal bone. It's just a joke, I didn't mean to clickbait anybody, but I've got the most views on that video than any treasure hunting video I've ever posted. It's going on almost 600 views now. Like, I guess people really thought I found a Neanderthal bone. LOL. But maybe my next video when I go out treasure hunting, I'll put Neanderthal skeleton. See how many views I get then. But look at this giant triangle my brother found. That was a beauty. It's a snap base or broke base, but broke here too. But that's one big joker right there, y'all. All right, I'm going to 16 minutes now. I might even be able to upload this. I'm going to have Wi-Fi. I'm going off my mom's hotspot. So I think it's about to use it up. It's not unlimited. So anything else I want to highlight before I go? Let me see. I don't know, man. Let me just give you one more close up of these though before I go. Sorry about the light once more. I'm no longer at I'm having a lot of problems with my phone right now. And by the way, the iPhone I found a few weeks ago, we located the owner via Facebook, and she came and got her phone, so I was happy to return it to her. And she wants to give me the phone as a reward. I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. But she mentioned how her and her sister watched my videos, and I've mentioned numerous times how I wish I had a better camera. So she said she's going to transfer all the pictures to her new phone and bring me the iPhone back as a reward, which is pretty awesome. But she don't have to give me anything. I'm just happy to return it to her. But she said she wasn't going to use it. I'm like, well, if you're sure, I don't know. I'm not gonna ask her about it. She brings it back. But if she does, I've always wanted an iPhone, and I'm curious to see what I can do with an iPhone. So that would be cool. But this would probably be the last video I upload for a while, if I'm able to upload it. I've got bags of brokes and stuff, but I was wanting to display some of my nicest ones, and my brother has much more nicer Flint pieces than I do, so I wanted to highlight some of his as well. Alright, y'all, maybe by this weekend I'll be able to get out another adventure, and maybe by then I'll have a new phone. I don't know, but thanks for watching my videos, y'all. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy hunting. Love y'all.